So I created this video called I'm 50, Childless Not by Choice, and here's how I found peace. And one of the things that I did not talk about, which I want to talk about now, is this feeling like I disappointed my parents. That, yeah, I'm 50 and I still want my parents to be proud of me. And I think one piece of it was the reason I carried this shame around not being a mother and always wanting to be a mother. Um, I really believe part of it was I felt like I let my parents down. And I know, obviously, like my parents love me, all those things, but it wasn't until I had this conversation with my dad, actually, which I didn't talk about in the video, but happened recently. It was in December of this past year, and we were sitting and he said something like, do you ever miss not like having a partner? And I said, no, not really. I think I've come to peace with that. But the thing that I started to really reconcile with was that I'm never going to be a mom. And then I felt myself almost starting to cry, so I like held back a little bit. And I realized that this is the first time I'm sharing this with my dad, and we've never spoken about it, never talked about it. I don't even think I told him I ever want. I don't know what he's thinking at this point, right? Because I've kept a lot of my life hidden, and I shared this in a video, and I'll explain in a moment. But I felt myself get emotional, and then he said, "Well, you can always adopt," which is it's a beautiful thing. It's like a parent saying, I want you to be happy. I want you to have everything that you want. And this is an option. And I was like, sure, it's not an option for me right now. If you're new to my channel, I'm not living a very conducive life to raising a child at this point. I don't have a permanent home. I'm living in surrender. So I'm hopping around from place to place, and I don't really make plans. And so that alone is a whole other piece of this feeling. Like, I know my parents want me to be happy, and I also understand that they have this worry. Another video I talked about is when I decided to take this big life experiment, when I decided to leave my apartment because I ran out of money and I did not want to ask for help. I knew that this was happening for me. I had a very specific intention. I'm going to let go, universe. For the first time in my life, I'm going to allow life to yield to me what is for my best and my highest good. Because I've tried so many things in my life, and I just felt like I just wanted to let go of the control, and I trusted myself and my ability to, and my intuition and my true voice to be led. And so when I had that moment, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anyone. I kept it a secret, which is so wild to me if you think about it, because it's like the scariest thing I was moving through, and I just didn't talk about it. I couldn't share it with them. I felt like they couldn't handle it. I felt like their worry compounded on to my worry, because I was also afraid. I didn't have answers to give them, and I was like, I need to create a boundary, and I'm just not going to say anything. I don't know how long this is going to be, how long I'm going to live like this, but I have to do this. It was like everything in me just knew this was the right decision. So I put stuff in storage, I let it go, and then for over a year I never told them the truth. And it wasn't till I went to visit home last August, September, that it occurred to me, oh, I'm getting something out of this relationship of keeping this part of myself from them. As much as I want them to understand me and to fully see me, I'm stopping that from happening because I'm not sharing who I really am. Like, this journey, this surrender experiment, it's so much bigger than it's really who I am. It's like at the core, living in integrity, trusting myself implicitly. It's got everything that I value in it, and yet I'm stopping myself from letting my parents really see me because I'm so scared. And I can cry right now. I'm so scared that that they will only see fear, that they wouldn't, so like it's hard because it's like you want your parents to change and you're changing and evolving. And part of that is like we have to be willing to make ourselves uncomfortable. So, point being, I told them the truth. I told my mother, and then I told my father separately, then I told my sister. And my parents have been divorced for years. And so it's crazy because I was scared to do it because I didn't know how to even explain it in words and how to let them know. But I did say, I've been living this way for over a year. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I cat sit. I worked on the farm. I did, I was like trying to like tell them like I'm getting to experience life in a whole different way. And you would think after saying that I would feel like a weight lifted, and I didn't. I felt worse. I felt a little sick. I felt even more fear. I felt all these things because now I'm really letting them in. I'm going here, this is who I really am. And also I felt bad for keeping it from them, but then I understood why I did it. It's complex. It's nuanced. It's complicated. Like the older I get, that child in me still wants to connect with them. And I'm so grateful that both my parents are alive and well, and I can connect with them in this way. But it's not easy. And then you add this piece of wanting to be a parent, and then also knowing that that's what they would want for me and not having that as well. It just felt like it felt like a lot, and this is maybe the first time I'm saying it out loud, but I want to shine a light to, if you feel this way, like you're not alone. And I don't think this will ever go away, this feeling of wanting your parents to be proud of you, no matter how old you are, no matter what you're doing in life. I think it's intrinsic to this bond that we share of wanting to be, hey, look at what I'm doing, look at, and so it occurred to me a couple, maybe like last month or something, when I came back from India, and I just had this like well of like, I just felt so free. I felt really like India really did something, shifted. And I remember thinking, oh, I could have never felt this free, this level of freedom, if I didn't share everything with my parents. Like I understood, like, okay, now this is the layer that I'm starting to recognize the value in sharing more of myself. And that felt really, really beautiful because I couldn't get there in the moment. And oftentimes we won't. It will get worse before it gets better because you're creating and you're changing this whole dynamic of identity, of how you are viewed by your parents, how you view yourself, but through your parents. I mean, I was so comfortable in keeping this wall up. I mean, I live in Paris, for God's sakes, and they're in California, they're in Los Angeles. So it's very easy to hide so much from them. And yet here I was sharing how I'm really living, sharing with my father that there's still a part of me that feels bad about this one aspect of not being a mother. And I still, like, it's just important to share because there's no like, oh, putting a button on it, like it's all fixed, it's all done. We evolve and we grow, and there's moments where I feel real deep connection with them, and I do feel that they're proud of me. And even if they can't say it, I see it in their eyes. I see when I'm on FaceTime with them and they're so happy to be on the other side with me, and I share my, like, it's not like I need to hear those words. It's just a feeling that I wanted to share because I don't I don't think that will ever go away, no matter how old I get, no matter how old you get. And I will always, like, my commitment is to be as authentic and real as I am here with them, even if they can't fully comprehend and understand. It doesn't matter. I will always show up. That's my commitment to myself, is to just keep delayering all the parts of me that want to hide. Because I guess in that way, I'm proud of myself. So I would love to hear how you guys feel about this. And yeah, that's all for now. Thanks, everyone.